And we are live.
What up? Is that what we are? We're live? Oh, yay, we are.
All right. Let's see where. There we go. Now I got my comments up on the thing
Nice.
instead of the.
I'm telling you, man, your mic sounds fantastic. This new mic, you're getting all professional.
Yeah, that's exactly what we are here. Professionals.
Yep, that's what it is. That's hey Tina Bojan. Nice. Someone is with us.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Looks like we have a sold out crowd right now.
Tina, aren't
sold
you
out.
in? Isn't Tina in that chat? Why aren't you in here? Isn't she in my Wins the Window chat?
Yeah, I think she said she just wanted to watch.
Oh,
but she's more than welcome to hop on.
She's a voyeur. I got you. So what's up, man?
So I finally finished all of the Song of Ice and Fire books.
What? Okay.
It's like, you know what? I think this would be a cool thing to do. So,
Yeah. I mean, spoiler alerts. It ends on a cliffhanger. John's dead. We don't. That's how the whole thing ends.
It ends on both John and Danny bleeding.
Yeah. She's bleeding for a different reason though. Oh, Tina says, I'm folding a million loads of laundry now that the boys are home from college. You know what? I'm not going to say. I was going to say something to him so wrong that she knew it would be a joke, but other people watching your show would have been like, that son of a gun. All right. But so tell me now I don't mean to interview you on your own channel, but first of all, I'm Scott from Sporky News Podcast. Hi, everybody. I'm taking over Poor Mason's show, but I want to ask you, you've read the books, you've watched the show. What do you think? Discuss what is best.
So I'm surprised most people are like a fan of the show after season 3.
Okay, I said 4,
but okay. Season 3 takes way too many deviations. Mm-hmm. Like they replace Jane Poole for no reason.
Right.
I think it's just so that they can kill Rob's heir, who might actually come back and play a part in later books.
Yeah, I've been wondering that. So I don't know if you know this, but when George was first writing it, it was only going to be a trilogy. Mm-hmm. And then when he decided to go off on, this is going to be longer than a trilogy, he also thought about a 5-year time jump. Well, he decided to scrap that. So how, this baby will have to be, it's hard because if they did 5 years and the kid's like a 5-year-old, that has a little bit more, meat to it, but a baby, I don't know. I was wondering that too, but that's Jane Poole is actually, that's Sansa's friend. You're thinking of Westerling.
Yes, Jane Westerling.
Yeah, they get rid of Jane Poole to just abuse Sansa on the show.
Oh, yeah.
But Jane Poole gets abused way worse than Sansa ever did in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's terrible.
So, just reading Feast for Crows, I think the time jump was a mistake. He should have just gone with it.
Yeah, you think so? Not just gone with the time jump, you're saying?
Yeah, I think it was a mistake to not do it.
It definitely throws a ringer in what he could do. I mean, I was expecting if they did a 5-year time jump, because don't forget in the books they're so much younger. Rickon now might be 5 in the book at the end of it, maybe 4.5. I wanted to see Rickon as a teenager, all wild and crazy warrior, but I don't know where he's gonna go.
It's the only people that this would directly affect would be Cersei. Mm-hmm. Trying to do the rearm the Faith Militant.
Right. Yeah, but you could jump 5 years and she's lost control,
Yeah.
There's a lot of things. I mean, a 5-year is easier to do that than get little kids prepared for the longest night battle and all this Game of Thrones type stuff, cuz literally I mean, you killed off most of the adults, already. I don't know if Sansa's going to become the Littlefinger type. She's still kind of when you read the sample chapters, she's still kind of an idiot. She's very like, still princesses and princes and stuff. I don't know. I don't know if it, I think it would have been, it would be cool to see what he would have done. Cause if you think about it, then like, Bran's like what, 15, 16, Arya's like 14. Yeah. So it
Yeah,
would kind of be
John would
neat.
have a lot more experience, as
Yeah.
he probably would have become Lord Commander at the end
Right.
of the time jump rather than right.
Right. Oh, it would have been
Like
funny if they
his
kept
like,
him dead for 5 years.
oh gosh.
I mean, he's been dead for over 11 now. So
Yeah.
it's
Uh,
redunculous. All right. So you read the books. Um, what did you take away from the books that just the show watchers wouldn't understand? I don't know why I'm asking you questions. I'm sorry.
no man, you're good.
uh,
Um, I don't know. I didn't like how the show like just did not want to use any sort of magic or anything.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Well, I
uh,
mean, does he use magic in the? I mean, it's not a lot of magic in the books.
there's not, but when there is, it's like meaningful and it's
Yes.
like uh, I don't know. There's a bunch of people like are about to be sacrificed for magic, and it's kind of
Yeah.
like kind
Yeah.
of just gets thrown out in the
Yeah.
show.
They also the idea like people get so confused because there is a historical Knights King in the book series, but there is no
Yeah.
Night King, and like they built up this Night King as the big bad, and then all he does is stare at Bran, and then Arya comes out from a balcony that doesn't exist and murders him. Kind of lost the effect, of her being the one
Yeah.
that killed him. That really, I don't know. Okay, let me ask you this. People have said, and they've said that George told Dan and Dave that these are the beads, the beats of the ending. But do you think George will get to that same ending, or will he still make Bran the king, but it'd be different? Like how he gets there.
So I think if Bran is going to be anything, he might be like a king in the north or something,
Hmm.
and maybe Sansa is like the head of the Vale.
Oh, the Vale. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, man. Like the Starks take over everywhere.
and I think that might be what George was meaning when he said something like that. Like, I
No.
think Bran will be king, and maybe
Mm-hmm.
Son will be a queen or something. And they kind of
Right.
just threw it at paper
Right.
and went
That's a
with a
good
first draft or whatever.
dude. That makes sense. I kind of I see that. That's a smart one.
But
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, please take over your show.
so are you still team Aegon, or you think he's Fagon?
I
Aegon.
I love Aegon though. I don't care if he's Fagon. I love Aegon. I mean, even if he's a Blackfire, I love him because that's the only thing he could be. But if you read any of the sample chapters, like I just think he will be that great king people want, and then he'll die a horrible death most likely. But I really would love to see a whole story about that kid. I don't know, something about him. I really like him.
Yeah, I don't know. He's kind of coming in at the last minute,
Right.
but I think George kind of is tending towards he's the real Aegon, because
You
like
think?
Varys says that he is the true king.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's kind of weird for
That's a tough
Varys
one,
to like
man.
lie
Yeah, it's a tough. Well, I mean,
while he's talking to a dead man.
right. That is very true. But he could mean it in the same. He might be bamboozled. Well, he's the one that was supposedly took him out of King's Landing.
Yeah, but a
That'd
lot
be-
of the places that they stopped with Aegon have ties to the Blackfires, like the Magister Ilio. Is that how you say his
Yeah,
name?
yeah, Ilio. I'm always bad at his name, but yeah.
Yeah, he. I think it was In Deep Geek had a video theorizing that he actually has the Blackfire sword stashed away somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Well, we know that. Okay, so we know that Blackfire was last with
bitter steel. Is that
Bitter
right?
steel, right? And the Golden Company could have given it to him. I think they held on to it. I don't know if he actually had it. I think if anything, they as a group have it. You know what I mean? Like him
Yeah.
with his wife may be a Blackfire. Because they killed out the male line, but they never say they killed out, the male lineage is dead, but they never
Yeah.
said
Yeah.
anything about the female. So I could see that, his wife, and the way he like says goodbye to him, like he misses saying goodbye to him. Like he's so emotional. Like it's more like a father to a son than, because he set up Connington and them, but it's not like he sees the kid regularly to be that emotional about a king in Westeros. So to me, he would be more of maybe like a child of his or a relative than the actual, real Aegon. I'm sorry, I got a splinter I'm trying to get at. What do you think? So you think he could be the real one? I mean, Varys, you're right about that. And a lot of people just walk right over that he does talk to a dead man and tell him he's the king, the real deal. So I don't know. Do you think Varys is one?
I'm not sure.
So have you heard any of those theories?
Yeah, I know there's one going on that he's like a merman or something.
Oh yeah,
And that's why he's so slimy and stuff.
Yeah. But what the one I like is, some people were trying to say he's Egg. He's not Egg. He's way too old or young. But what he does do is a lot of things that Egg did to hide in plain sight in front of the FreeFolk. So or not FreeFolk, the Westerosi population. He shaves his head. He also dons almost the same type of hat at one point that Egg does. I can't remember if George ever talks about the color of his eyes.
Yeah, I don't remember what color his eyes are.
Yeah, I don't know if he ever referenced them. Because, like, I've noticed in the writing, when George references a tunic, an eye color, hair color, like, it means something. Like, it's the first time, like, when I read something, I was like, oh, shoot, because you really got to pay attention. Because right from the start, right from the prologue of Game of Thrones, the first book, the eye color, hair color, skin tone of the oh God, what house was he from? Mormont? No. In the prologue when the very first one, the White Walkers show up.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to remember what house that kid was from, but like the kid that was like brand new, but he was in charge. His eye color, hair color, a lot like Jon's. And it's almost like when the White Walkers saw him and then he pulls out his sword, like they're fearful of him. And when the swords clang and they realize it's not, like the hero, they start laughing at him and abuse the shit out of him, kill him. Like, I find that, like, if you really pay attention to that, they're looking for Jon.
Oh yeah. I had not put those two together.
I'm pretty amazing. I know. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I heard somebody bring it up once. I apologize again for cutting you off on your own show. But like I really like, they just said he looks like a Northman, but then I was like, a couple of years back, might be like 4 now, I was like, wait a minute, it's Jon. So someone might have came out with that first, but no one told me that one. It just, you read Jon, how they describe him. There are a lot of like the color of the eyes and blah, blah, blah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say that the way Jon looks, he looks exactly like Ned Stark. And that's why Catelyn hates him. Yeah. Like, as many sons and daughters as she's given him, none of them, they all have the Tully look. They don't have the Stark look.
Right. Do you find it like, I don't know. I understand like Ned's a man of honor, blah, blah, blah. But like, how dumb is it after how many decades you've been with this woman not to be like, okay, cut the shit. It's my sister's kid with Rhaegar. Don't tell anybody. Like, Will you just leave the fucking poor kid alone? Excuse me. Didn't mean to swear on your channel. But like,
No,
you know,
dude, go
like
ahead.
never like saying a word to him.
Well,
Like I don't know.
well, if he says anything, that's going to like the trick's over, you know?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
sealing the deal, like her hatred of him.
right. You think?
Yeah, like if she had like hated him for like a decade and then just all of a sudden it's like patting him on the back, like
Oh yeah, that
treating
makes
him
sense.
like an
Okay,
adopted son. It's like
still.
uh
I'd be like, still treat him like an asshole. But, you know, maybe every once in a while throw him a good job, champ. You know what I mean? Something like that. I almost got this splinter,
yeah,
dude. It's killing me.
it would have led to a better childhood, but it
Right?
definitely would have put him in a more danger.
Yeah. And also, he would have been a different person. You know,
Yeah.
everything he went through made him, bastards, crippled, and broken things. You know, like it made him who he is. So I get it.
Yeah, like if he didn't get treated like that for most of his life, he would have had much thinner skin
Right.
and been like a much worse Lord Commander of the Night's Watch.
Right. Well, it's not thick enough to
But
stop a blade.
yeah, it might have stopped him from making some bad
Yeah.
decisions.
Right. Right. But like, I don't know. So do you mind me? I know you brought it up backstage, but you were talking about somebody's video about George. Do you want to talk about that now or later? You know what? I agree. The only one I trust is Blackfish.
I feel kind of bad for Edmure Tully. Like
Well,
he gets
yeah.
tricked and now he's just a prisoner in
Yeah.
Castle Lock for forever now.
Yeah, probably forever, right? He's a moron.
Yeah, so apparently George is talking to his like co-writers for like World of Ice and Fire and Fire and Blood and the artists and stuff like that,
Yep.
and telling them that not to stop what they're doing right now. And they're not going on strike actually, but they're preparing for Winds of Winter to be published in 2024.
Well,
So
they
George
wouldn't. I mean, it's. Let me ask you a quick question. Why would they go on strike? Isn't it a Screen Actors Guild? That's like a Writers
I was
Guild.
just joking.
Oh, okay. Durr. I was all like, wait a minute. Do all authors go on strike? Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm done. Go on.
No, you're good. I probably didn't put enough sarcasm into.
It's all right, man.
Words,
Mike sounds great, though. Mike sounds great.
Good. I was very worried about that.
Dude, it sounds so much better than your usual Mike, so I'm proud of you. I'm really happy. Like, it's not even like your other one was hard sometimes to hear you. This is clear as day, man. Good stuff.
Yeah, so he's really thinking that it's going to get published in 2024 at some point.
Mm-hmm. That's
Like,
crazy. I can't. Come on. How did this, how did you really think Linda and what's her name's Linda and, right, here's what I'm trying. Shut up. Tina. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm trying to get a splinter out and it's killing me. It's like this long, I swear. Linda and what's his name? Now I'm forgetting their names. I have the book somewhere. A couple of them. Well, the two that help him. I mean, they are like the encyclopedia. They like fact checked him pretty much. Like, oh, George, you got the eye color wrong here. Oh, George, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
But like, why? Who would they tell? Like they got the best gig working for George Martin. Like, just were fans that wanted to start an RPG game when the internet first started with A Song of Ice and Fire. George allowed them to. It never actually worked out, but like all the information they gathered is now used for George when he's writing, and it just kills me. Like these people, like no way they would leak it out because like that's their meal ticket, man.
Yeah. I don't know the source on this. I just
Mm-hmm.
saw the video from the Dragon Demand. So shout out that guy
Yeah, I like
doing
that
good
dude.
work.
Yeah,
Uh,
he won't do lives though. Good work though.
uh
Sorry. He does. I think I asked him to go on a live once, but it's cool. It's cool. I'm a little channel, no big whoop.
yeah.
Tina.
I don't think he does any sort of live streams or anything
No.
because of like where he lives or something.
Oh, okay. I like the dude. I like his stuff.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them out there. I really enjoy the Song of Ice and Fire community. The only problem sometimes with that community is they're very, like they're very pro like George. Like they do not like when you speak bad about them. And there's only a handful that will, but there's some great A Song of Ice and Fire, like Smokescreen. Chris at Smokescreen's awesome, dude. Um, what the something the green? Oh God, I haven't watched those guys in forever, and they're so good. Um,
Order of the Green Hand.
yeah, Order the Green Hand. Thank you. Those guys are great. Mary Ellen, I don't forget what their names are, but that dude's voice is awesome. There's quite a few really good ones. I like Preston Jacob. Some people don't. I think Preston is interesting. He's doing like fan stuff right now, like putting together the like chapters through like a bunch of fans writing it, and then he takes the best of what they wrote and put it into a sample chapter. I don't know if you watched any of those, but if you haven't, they're pretty good.
Yeah, I think I've heard something about that.
Yeah, they're good, man.
I haven't started them yet though.
Oh, they're good. Like his he does like he'll do video after video of like one subject. And some of his like he's very into there's no magic, it's actually like telepathy and stuff like that. I don't know about that, but I enjoy his takes and I like to watch them and like cuz it makes you think in different ways and the dude's very thorough. Like he believes what he believes, very thorough. But yeah, you should check him out more often. And who do you like? Who do you watch?
Um, I have like a big playlist of like
Sporking Dude Podcast. Oh, Sporking News? Yeah, great channel. Yeah, no.
yeah
Sorry. Big, like you have a playlist of different ones?
yeah. I think I have a couple of your lore videos in there. Like I
Thank you.
think you had one from a couple years ago where you're talking about Aegon or Fagon.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I need to get back into those.
yeah, man.
I am
And
going to now that you've motivated me. Thank you.
uh,
All right, I'm
I
done.
think I have a couple of the Monday theory streams on there too.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I have
Which
In Deep Geek
he's great.
in
His
there.
voice is great.
Yeah.
I want him to like read to me so when I go to bed.
I don't know. I have a bunch of different people. I think I do have some Preston Jacob ones. Um,
Yeah. The guy who's with Preston a lot. Oh my God, why am I blanking on his name? I love the dude. He's funny as hell. Oh, sugar. He's good. There's quite a few good. History of Westeros. Like, they're great. We're like actually Facebook friends, and like our views on the real world do not coincide a lot. And they like we've had battles, but like when it comes to the history of Westeros and Radio Westeros, is it Radio or Radio Westeros? Those two channels are freaking awesome.
yeah, that is a big problem in the Song of Ice and Fire community. Is that there's a lot of people that just do not agree with real world stuff, and they
No,
kind of push that onto the thing. I
they
think
really do, man. And I understand people like, look, I'm a little bit more conservative. I think live your life the way you want to live it. Just don't mess with mine. And when you speak out against something, they take it as the most like you're so like you're anti these. No, it's just leave me alone. Like
yeah.
that's just how I am. But we're not going to talk politics. So this is an appreciation stream. What do you appreciate most about me? No, 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 no. Just kidding. Sorry.
um,
I
I,
get it.
moving on just a little bit
Yeah.
to the Hedge Knight stories.
Ooh, okay.
Uh, I think it's kind of weird that uh, they embody a lot of the things that George does not like about like traditional stories.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have a much more traditional hero with Dunk, who's just a knight trying to do good things,
Right.
and he's very much against that.
Right. Oh, yeah. Okay. So you're saying like it's the opposite of what he usually writes.
Yeah, and it's regarded as like some of his best stuff.
Mm-hmm. And you don't enjoy it?
I do. I think
Okay.
the last one, the Mystery Knight, was kind
Okay.
of weird because they like walk in and it kind of ends like a Scooby Doo thing where everybody gets caught and then like
I'm
all the
trying to.
Black Fires.
Oh, right, 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 right. Yeah, it was Blood Raven all along. Yeah, yeah. No, I forgot about that. Um,
But I really enjoyed them. They were a lot of fun to read.
yeah. They're short. They're easy to read.
Yeah,
I like the he writes such great chemistry between Dunk and Egg.
yeah.
Um, I really want the next book. The next book, because again, he hasn't finished this series either. The next book, though, is the She Wolves of Winterfell. And I think that is going to tell us a lot about Hodor and his lineage to Dunk. Also, like this time when, like, you know, the the lords of Winterfell were either dead or in war or too young, and it was really the women running Winterfell. So I think it'd be kind of interesting to see that.
So, do you know how many more he has planned?
No, because I mean, Dunk is still really young. I don't know if he planned on going all the way through till Summerhome. I don't know if he planned that, but if you think about it, Dunk is really young still, and Dunk, you know, lives to have children of his own. So I can't. I don't know unless he does massive time jumps. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think he's
Um,
ever said.
okay. Because like Summerhall is a big mystery thing in
Mm-hmm.
the community
Yeah,
about like what happened there.
yeah, like what really went down.
Hmm.
Yeah. I wonder sometimes, I almost think, um, I feel like, what do you think Summer Hall is?
I'm forgetting whose video it was. Somebody did a lore video on it, and
Okay.
they were saying that well, I guess it's more of a theory video
Mm-hmm.
that perhaps uh perhaps Egg had a vision because he is a dreamer.
Yep.
Uh, Perhaps he had a vision of a Targaryen bringing the dragons back in a fire,
Right.
and he thought it was him. So
Mm-hmm.
he sacrificed. He did a blood sacrifice of Targaryen blood
Mm-hmm.
and tried to bring the dragon back to life, but it just ended up crippling the Targaryen family.
Right. I mean, yeah, it could be that, or like he saw the dragon being born, but yet it wasn't the dragon; it was actually Rhaegar, because Rhaegar
Yeah,
was born like outside the building while it was burning down.
yeah,
Um, yeah,
and
yeah.
uh,
Go on.
there was speculation of like Bloodraven meddling in there to make sure that uh, certain bloodlines would match up
Mm-hmm.
to make the prince that was promised.
Right. Well, that's what another thing I wondered. Like, do you think he had dreams, or did Raven send him dreams?
Uh,
Because like, I do you know the theory that Blood Raven was in the Mad King's head, trying to make him, you know, um, you know, that's why he kept screaming, burn them all," like stuff like that. But like, he was trying to like warn him about the long night coming, but yet all he did was warp his mind.
no, I hadn't heard that. I heard
Yeah.
that
I just
Bran was like popping around, and that might be what screws up the Mad King.
Right. Some people think it's future Bran. Yeah. Yeah. I think Bloodraven did it and it was a mistake. And that's why he warns Bran not to try to change the past.
Okay, that's interesting.
Right. Well, because like what did he do? I wonder these things. Like, what did he do to know that you can't change the past? Like what? Because Bran, you remember Bran like whispers or calls out his dad, and his dad like hears a whisper on the leaves, and he's like, "Who's there?" You know.
Yeah,
So Bran feels like he could change the past, and Bloodraven gives him that speech of like it can't happen, and I wonder why he believes that so strongly. It must be he tried to change the past and either made it worse or couldn't, like, no matter what, the outcome was the same, you know what I mean? So like I wonder if
yeah,
that's so I everyone who says it's Bran, I was like, nah, it has to be Bloodraven was messing with his mind. Yep,
yeah. That's a solid argument right there.
you heard it here first. um yeah, and there's like a couple other ones with that whole thing, do you think like okay, so at Summerhall we can go into like the other one later, but Summerhall, I almost feel like Egg was like almost crazy about by the time he starts doing this, like when he actually gets into the thing, because like I almost feel like Dunk, like we're gonna find out something where like Dunk had to go against Egg, because they were like, but not for the bravery of the Lord Commander, and it's like dot dot dot.
Yeah,
Like I wonder, and like I feel like Dunk. Okay, so Dunk always talks about his foot because he was
yeah,
supposed to get
yeah.
his foot chopped off. I want to think he puts his foot in the door at Summerhall to let somebody escape, and like finally his foot saves the realm, because maybe it's maybe it is Rhaegar's mother and father. You know what I mean? So like his
Yeah.
foot finally saves the realm, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of references to his arm and leg.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's got to be building up to something.
Right, right. I'm telling you, man, it's always about his foot. So like it has to be something, man. It has to be something.
So, do you think they're gonna cast Pedro Pascal as Dunk because it's another Wolf and Cub story?
Yeah, right. Oh God, I mean, oops, lost my ears. I mean, they already had him as the Red Viper, and he was awesome as that. But like, yeah, who could be Dunk? Because Dunk has to be an opposing figure. That's a good question. Well, it's not going to be live action, right? Is it
Uh,
live action?
I think it might be. I think it is.
I'm sorry. That I'm excited. This is the worst part thing about me. I am like aggravated with George for not finishing the books. But yet, like when I hear this, like a little kid in me is like, yeah, I can't wait. Like I don't know.
But there's only 3 stories, and so that's like 3 seasons, and
Oh
then
yeah, dude.
and then
They're-
we're
We're
right back.
back where? Yeah.
Yeah, we're waiting on more stuff to be written.
Oh, cripe. You're right. You're right. Oh my God, can you imagine that too? That'd be redunculous. Ah, so terrible. I'd be so just aggravated.
And then we're at a point where 3 different problems meet. You're gonna have to write another Hedge Knight story. You're gonna have to write Fire and Blood 2 to make more spin-offs.
Right.
And then you're gonna have a Dream of Spring, and it's like, well, now you're all booked up.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think we'll ever get Dream of Spring? I do think we're gonna get the Winds of Winter. It's
No,
just like I can't imagine us not getting that.
Yeah, at some point, Winds will almost certainly come out.
Right. But like, do you believe that we will get the other one?
I I mean, it took him almost 12 years now working on one book to get it
Mm-hmm.
out.
Mm-hmm.
And he took a big, 7-year break or something of
Yep.
just not writing anything.
Yep. Yeah, he was lying to us that he was, but he definitely took a break.
Well, he was using like Hollywood speak. Like it's not a lie technically, but
Yeah, he
it's
lied. He lied.
misselling.
No, he freaking lied. He kept telling us he was working on it. He lied. That's what bothers me. Tina says I want a young Alexander Skarsgård as Dunk, but he's not young anymore. So, like, just that type. Dunk is, I think, a little bit even more beefier than him. Like, Dunk is an imposing figure. He's like 7 foot tall, isn't he?
Yeah, it's something crazy like that.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I know they won't find anybody that big, but shit, like he's a better looking, probably not as big, but about like the size of the mountain, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe
use one of the like 10 actors that played the Mountain.
Yeah, right. That's funny.
Or the guy that played Hodor. Just get him in shape.
Yeah. Well, you need somebody young, so who would it be? I'm gonna start looking up tall actors. Tall, young.
Yeah, your browsing history is young, tall actors.
Oh my god. Well, you put it tall young actors under 30 pops right up, so I'm not the only freak. Let's see. All right. I don't know. None of these guys look tall to me. And you never know. They might gender swap them. I don't know. You never know. Dunk might be Dunkette. You never know what they're going to do anymore. Yeah, I couldn't think of who would work. That's a good question, huh?
Tina Bojan says Skarsgård would have been great because he's 6'4".
Yeah, no, he would have been. I mean, he's a big dude. Like, at least they can make him even look bigger. But like now, Tina, who would it be?
Which Skarsgård was in the Northman?
That's the one she's talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, he's just a little too old for it. I mean, Dunk is supposed to be like a teenager, you know? So like they'll maybe push him up to like early 20s. I don't know, maybe. Let's see if there's any rumors about it. Dunk and Egg TV series.
So do you think that they would finally do the purple eyes for Egg?
I really hope so, man. All these people, I can't wear contacts. You know, like Daniel Radcliffe. Yeah,
well, like, it's Supernatural. They stopped doing contacts and just did CGI.
Right. I mean, like, and this is HBO. Come on, like, you can't do that. Come on. Yeah, I think they need to, because you never. Okay, like, don't get me wrong, Daenerys. Emilia Clarke is gorgeous, but like the idea that they have this almost platinum hair and purple eyes is like one of the most important features about them. It's George is very heavy-handed in like traits, physical, biological traits of family, DNA. That's a big deal with him, so like having a Targaryen that I don't know is black, it just doesn't work, because they are unless they marry outside the family, which it could easily happen, a Summer Islander or someone like that. But, all of them in the book that we know of are either blonde or platinum hair, like silver hair, a form of purple eyes, violet, lilac, all these different ones. And they're fair skinned. That's an important thing, because it's distinct, just like the Northmen, like the Starks, very robust, very, like they have a look, just like the Baratheons, because throughout history, you see the resemblance of these people in the history books. The seed is strong. the whole thing is that Robert Baratheon doesn't shoot out a kid that has blonde hair. It's only black haired kids he shoots out. Like it's very
Mhm.
important. So I hope they do. I really hope they do.
Uh, yeah, like he even has the insight to like make like genealogy charts where
Yeah.
like certain Targaryen charts or certain Targaryen traits
Yeah.
are more dominant than others. Like when Dany has a vision of her kid, it had he has the copper skin of the Dothraki, but he
Right.
has the Targaryen hair.
Yeah. Yep. That was a big deal. The big deal with the Blackfire Rebellion is, even though, King Aegon the Unworthy, right? Is that no, not unworthy? Is it no? Which
I
whatever
think that is unworthy.
is it unworthy? I thought it was even worse than that. But Aegon the Unworthy, is married to a woman who is from Dorne, so like his actual kids have very Dornish features, but most of his bastards look very Targaryen. So that is like the big deal is like people want their king to look Targaryen, and that's one of the reasons why they keep pushing. Is it Damon? Damon Blackfire?
Daemon Blackfire.
Yeah. They keep pushing him because he looks the part and he has the sword and da 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 da. So it really is more important than people make it out to be.
Yeah, and, like hats off to House of the Dragon for like actually writing it into the story.
Yeah.
And it's there's this like undertone of like the Valerians have this pride of being like quote unquote pure Valerian blood
Right.
and discussing this and that and having very different features from it, but they've been away from Valeria for way too long. It's
Right.
nearly impossible to find somebody that of pure Valerian blood.
Right.
And
Right.
even when you do, they're like full of incest.
Yeah, dude, their babies are coming out like
Yeah, that tree is straight.
Yeah, it's too straight. But I mean that happened in our own, medieval world. They
Yeah.
thought they were keeping it pure, but they were way too pure. That's why some of their children come out looking like deformed dragons. Because and like that's something that like is an interesting part that no one really talks about.
So do you think that's because of the incest or because of the blood magic that they use to bond themselves to the dragons?
Oh, I believe it originally. I think it's two part. Yes, the incest, but also because of their bonding to the dragons. Because it's a bond that gives it almost it's weird because it almost gives them some of the ability of the dragon. Like they're more resistant to heat. They're not fireproof, but they're more resistant to heat.
Yeah.
They rarely get sick. Rarely.
Yeah.
And maybe that power within them sometimes comes out deformed as they really do. They are the dragon. They are a bit dragon themselves because it's been so many centuries of them being bonded to these animals.
Yeah. I think they probably have some resistance to like birth defects from incest because they're supposed to be like kind of like elvish
Yep.
ish, I guess.
Yeah. Right.
They're supposed to be this like super magical race,
Mm-hmm.
but there's only so much you can do to try and stop it.
Okay. Right. Right. I mean, it's interesting though. I love the things George like does because I don't know if everybody realizes like there has to be more to that. Like, why does he keep telling us about these deformed dragon babies? Like, we're gonna find out something more about their bond with the dragon. I really think so.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. So I'm looking at some people. So some people want Jacob Tremblay. I think he, although he is older than the actual age. That's they're talking about egg. Okay, so for Dunk, um, a lot of people are saying uh, Tom Hopper, who played, he was in Game of Thrones. He was he Sam's brother? I think he was Sam Wise's brother, but he's also in the that superhero show on Netflix. They kind of are like a weird family.
The Jupiter one.
No, 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 no. They're young. Like the guy went around and adopted all these babies that were born on the same day.
Oh yeah. Umbrella Academy.
Right, the big like gorilla-ish one, the big guy.
Oh yeah.
That's Tom Hopper, and a lot of people think he would be a good Dunk. I think he's about 6'5", 6'6". So, yeah, he would be a decent one. Other people say, I don't know who Jacob El-Aradi is from Euphoria, or Jonas Sutomo, who played Chewbacca in the Star Wars sequel trilogy. What? What?
Yeah. That guy's pretty tall.
And pretty old, probably. But which guy?
The guy that played Chewbacca.
Okay.
Uh, he was a former like basketball player or something.
Uh-huh.
And he had to take over because Peter Mayhew like just couldn't film all the scenes. So like,
But
I think in Force Awakens they like both played him and then took over.
Sequel. I'm thinking prequel. I'm like, who the hell? How is okay? I was so lost. I'm like, this kid must be real old. I don't know how good of an actor he is, but he has the size. He's 6'11".
Yeah, I don't know if he's like wide enough though.
Yeah, I mean, you could put muscle on somebody. You also have I don't know who this guy is. I'm going to look him up real quick. Jacob Elordi, Elordi. I don't know this guy, but let's see who he looks like. No. Maybe. I don't know. He's kind of goofy looking. Maybe. You never know. I don't know. Sorry.
Man, I just had perfect casting. Why not Tom Holland for Dunk? And you can
There you
have
go.
Zendaya as Egg.
There
Boom.
you go. Or she should be Dunk. And he'll be Egg because she's a little taller, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I just hope it's good. And you're right. It's only 3 books, small books. You can't stretch that out more than 3 seasons, I would think.
And it's 8 episodes for season 1. They've confirmed that.
Oh, they did? Only 8?
Yeah.
I hate. Okay. If anybody from Hollywood is watching Mason's channel right now, could we go back to at least 12? I don't care how much it's costing. I am so sick and tired of like I watched a great series. I still haven't watched the last episode because like it was only 8 episodes and I didn't want it to like go away too fast. Rabbit Hole, Kiefer Sutherland, great show, but it's only 8 episodes. It's like, come on, man, give me like, you remember when they used to do like a shit ton every year? And I understand mostly sitcoms did that, but you would at least get 12 from a decent drama. Sick.
Yeah, I mean, now we get like an 8-episode Mando season with filler episodes.
Right. Like, backdoor pilots and stuff like that. Like, it just, I'm sorry, Mando was just it's not my jam.
Yeah.
Take your time. You're doing great. I know you just got that little worried voice I know of you. Don't worry about it. We're doing awesome. What other things did you think about?
So they're splitting season 2 for House of the Dragon into 2 different seasons, season 2 and season 3, and they're both going to be like 8 episodes or something similar.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
No. So explain it again.
So season 2, instead of getting an extended season, they split it in half. So it's going to be like 8 episodes and 8 episodes. But because they've written them, they can film them back to back and they can come out sooner.
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, why not? I mean, that's a lot of episodes for one season. That's awesome. 16 episodes. You remember, like a lot of shows used to do this thing where, like you would get 8 episodes and then like over winter they would take at least like a month and a half to 2 months and then you get the rest. I'd be cool with
Yeah.
that. You know, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, so many shows used to go on for really long periods of time,
Right.
and they could still turn around and do like every year.
Right. Right. Why not, dude?
Yeah, George was really pushing to get like 12 episodes for season 1 of House of the Dragon.
Right.
And HBO was like, that's too much of a commitment. We'll give you the standard 10.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they've decided to split season 2 to give them more episodes. So, but
I
it's
think
not
that's
like,
a good idea. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
No,
it's cool. I'm sorry. I keep jumping right when you're about to say something
man,
brilliant.
you go.
No, please, please.
And I think they're hoping to do like the Dunkin' Eggs in between House of the Dragon off seasons
Okay.
to try and like space it out a little better. So
Okay.
we're not in this like dead period that we are
So
right
like
now.
we'll get one House of the Dragon, and then that next year we'll get Dunkin' Egg, and then House. I mean, that would be smart because the dead air kills me sometimes. Who's
Yeah.
Sam? Who's she talking about? Sam Huguenet. And what is that A for? Is she saying a bad word? I don't know what she's doing. I'll look it up though.
All right. Yeah, I think the exterior shots for House of the Dragon are about to start.
Okay.
So there might be some news coming out pretty soon.
I'm kind of excited about that. Well, we're going to be starting up my Monday shows again, which you were on, and I'm excited for that because we always had a good time. You, myself, Jane Theory, sometimes Gary from Nerdrotic when I make him feel bad enough. A couple other people would jump in. Mr. Grant Gregory. I think that's really it, right? Oh, Christy sometimes.
Yeah. So didn't you say Mr. Grant Gregory was like sick or something?
I don't know. I think he's better now.
Okay. I just hadn't heard anything new.
Yeah, I think he's been doing better. Okay, I'm looking at this Sam guy. How old is he?
All right.
1980. Come on, Tina. We're talking a teenager. We're like your kid's age. You're bringing me a 1980s guy. Come on, do better. Do better.
Yeah. It's like the meme with Steve Buscemi. He's like, "How do you do, fellow kids?"
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Mm-hmm. That's perfect. That's awesome. Oh, poor Tina.
So, what does he look like?
Okay, I'll show you. I think he's like, was he the main guy in Outlander? I don't know. Hold on. I'll share it. All right. So let's see.
All right.
So this is what he looks like. I mean, actually, he doesn't look too old, but he is young. I mean, old. Dude, how is this guy only 4 years younger than me? That's some bullshit. That is some bullshit.
I don't know. I think with the right like hair and makeup department,
Yeah.
you could probably get by.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I think I could too. I think I could. Oh, see, maybe those are younger shots of him. Okay, we're seeing him a little older. Okay, look at this shot. He looks real old. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Damn it. All right, I'm going to find somebody else. I'll show you the first guy. Where was he? This Jacob guy. While we have this up. So this is the guy from Euphoria, I think. I mean, he looks more like what I think Dunk would look like. I I feel like Dunk would have dark hair. It does. I don't know why. Yeah, he has dark hair.
Yeah,
Like a
I'm
broad,
pretty sure.
broad jaw thing going on. How tall? We're gonna find out how tall this dude. Oh, it comes up second. Look at that.
Alrighty.
6'5". I mean, the kid's 6'5".
That's pretty good.
That works for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can do the like angle shots to make him look even taller. So,
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah, dude. I feel like this kid might be a winner. I don't know him. I don't know anything he's in. He could be a terrible actor, but I feel like he would look like. Wait a minute, this freaking guy doesn't have any videography? What's going on? I'm very confused. Okay, anyways, I think this kid would be he'd be oh, here we go. Duh. He'd be the one. Look at he's a ton of stuff. He's got 6 upcoming. Maybe it'll show Priscilla. Okay, so none of them say Duncan Egg. Yeah, I wonder how long this writer strike will go on for. I don't know him from anything. I don't know.
Well, if it goes on too long, maybe we'll get some new blood that's like not in the union, and they can cross the line and get something actually good.
I can't talk about people crossing the line, but maybe they, hey union, like fight. What would you guys play? Look, if they're not getting paid good, I agree. Fight for what you want, but when you come back, maybe not be so bitchy and actually write good shit and stop trying to like follow Hollywood. Like this is how warped this world is. Miller Lite just came out with.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Like, what did you? Didn't you just see what happened to Bud Light?
Yeah, they saw Bud Light and said, "Hold my beer."
Yeah, exactly. Like we might not get Dylan Mulvaney or whatever, but we're gonna say men suck. It's unbelievable, dude. People are just idiots. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh. I mean, they just like they're taking their own history and saying this was bad. Look at us. We're gonna do good now because everything we've done before was just evil.
Right.
And
right. It's like, yeah, I always hate when we look back in the past and like try to judge people on what they did back then. Like in 20 years, 30 years, they're going to look back and see what psychologists and doctors are doing right now and be like, what the hell were they thinking? Just like when you watch like Star Trek, they're like, they cut into people, Jim, like it's just, people are idiots. People are idiots. That's all I'm going to say. Yep.
Almost knocked my microphone over.
I was about to say, you're falling? What's going on?
Trying to think of more House of the Dragon stuff. I know they cast what's his name? Darren Targaryen, is that right? For the Greens?
Yeah, Daron? Yeah, I think you're right. The youngest son?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They finally cast him.
Oh, they did? Oh, I don't know who that is. Sure. All right, check it out, man. What is it? What's his name? Look at it.
I have no idea.
Come on,
look it up.
All right, I'll do all the work. I like this. I like how you're pushy. This is how you have to run a show. All right, House Season 2 casting. What about because they're gonna do the Conqueror, right? Do you think they can get Henry Cavill to play? Do you think Henry Cavill should play the Conqueror?
So, I think that Jensen Ackles looks way more like Aegon the Conqueror in that one little picture.
I've never seen the picture, but okay. I like what you're thinking, though. That's kind of interesting. I like that dude. I think he's a great actor. He's funny as hell.
I don't want to waste Henry Cavill performance on just one like a throwaway movie and
Right.
like a season and a half of a show.
Right. That's true.
Because I think the plan would be for like have a, I think they said something like have a Aegon the Conqueror movie, and then have a show that splits off to his sons trying to rule the Seven Kingdoms.
Right. Right. Well, I found a casting thing here.
All right, let me just.
There's a couple good ones. Like, okay, Elisa Rivers or Eliza Rivers. Is she the one that? Oh yeah, she's the Aemon Targaryen's paramour. She's crazy. This guy's a good actor. I like him. He was in oh God, what was that show? It was like had Dr. Frankenstein and his monster and
Oh shoot, what is it called? I know what you're
it
talking
was on
about.
like Showtime or something like that. And you had
Yeah,
like you had that kid play Wolfman who was in oh my God, I don't remember
Eva
anybody's names.
Green. Eva
Yeah,
Green was in it.
yeah. Oh, she's so scary hot. Yes, yes. This guy's a good actor. So who is he going to be? Lord Lars Strong. Oh, wait a minute. He is the great uncle. Oh, Sir Simon Strong. Okay. Okay. Who else? Freddie Fox is Guywen Hightower? Gawain? I don't even know how to say that. Is the son of Otto. Okay. Second command of the city's what? I didn't know that. Okay, we got some people here. Let's see. Oh, this is one of the Dragon Seed guys. Okay. He's a bastard. Okay. I love that his father must be Corlys or Laenor because he's black. See, they're racist. How do you know that? How do you know that?
The rumor was that he was oh shoot, what's the guy that everyone thinks
Laenor.
is yeah, the his son.
Right.
uh they were saying that it was suspected that he is going to play the Laenor's son that everyone thinks is going to be Laenor coming back.
Yeah, because I mean that is spoilers for Blood of the Dragon or whatever, Fire and Blood. I mean Laenor does die, and his son, his bastard son, comes. It says he's his son, comes back, so he's alive. How does that work? I don't know. Okay, let's see. Just okay. We're okay. King Aegon the second Targaryen, Aemon, Renee, Bela. Who's okay? So where's the dude? That's weird because you are right. They're acting the other son. Huh.
I don't know. Maybe they just announced that they had cast somebody for it.
Oh. Okay.
I
I mean,
thought
you would think that
I
would be kind
remember.
of a big casting.
I thought I remembered somewhere seeing that there was an actor tied to it now.
Yeah. Let's see. How do I want to write this? What's his name again? I forget it.
Darren.
Darren. But is it Daeron? Something like that, right? Who is Darren? Okay. Here we go. But this is like last year. Gotta find something new here. How to get cast?
While you're looking at that, I'm gonna pull up this picture.
Okay. Ooh, blood and cheese
Yeah,
too.
so this one right here, that you see the similarity
Yeah,
between.
dude, I've never seen that picture before.
Yeah, I think this is him in from The Boys season 3.
Yeah, yeah.
And they've added in the crown.
You know what? It works for me. It does. It works for me.
All right.
Yeah, I don't see anything about him being casted. Oh, wait a minute. Someone on Twitter. John Early has been casted as Daeron Targaryen in House of the Dragon.
All right.
So, he looks kind of old. I guess he would be an older guy, but he's like the third son, so he has to look younger than Aemon. All right, I'm going to look this guy up. John Early. Images. Huh. Okay. All right. I guess he'll be a Targaryen. We'll see how that goes. All right, then. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I guess we can talk about it more in deep on a Monday show if you want.
Yeah, we will. We'll figure that out. I think we're gonna start with we're gonna do I might want to go over some theories. See if there's any newer theories in the fandom and talk about them.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. You got anything else you want to talk about?
Let's see. Um,
I'm here for you, buddy. What do you got?
I don't know. I know there's more I was wanting to talk about. I just can't think of anything right now.
I got to start doing it too, man. Like I start a video, like I haven't made a video in so long. It's either a short or a stream, but like I got to start writing down like bullet points, like just so I don't forget those like moments of like, oh yeah, that's such a great idea,
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah. So this was published May 15th. When is The Winds of Winter coming out? Everything we need to know about. Oh, come on. Don't give me this shit. It's one of those timeline winter. Wow, they go over the timeline and everything. We might talk about this. We could hope for a 2024, like you said. I guess I'm going to have to save that one. See what Wiki of Thrones. But, so, okay, reading the book. What are your favorite moments? You can. Oh, excuse me, Mrs. Spork is here.
Yeah.
It's yours. Thank you. All right. Okay, so what top like 3 favorite things in the book?
Like one of my favorite moments is like Rob getting what do you call it when you become king?
Mm-hmm.
Just when they like make him king. I think that's like such a really cool moment.
Powerful moment, right?
Yeah, I think the book does the Red Wedding much better because the show kind of just makes it feels very like a final finale. It's
Right.
very final. It's like this is the complete end for this storyline.
Right.
But the book leaves it to be
Wide.
I don't know.
It's still wide open.
This is just an action in the story. It's still building up.
Right. I mean, because like if you think about it, like in the book, you still have is Jane Westerling, right? Jane, is it Jane Westerling?
Yeah.
Is
Jane
she still pregnant? Is she pregnant? Where is his will?
Yeah.
There's so much other stuff going on. Like, who did he say would be his successor? Because he almost like everyone thinks it's John, but is it? So I don't know.
Well, like that was the last thing he said to Catelyn was, I want John to be my heir until
Right.
I have one of my own or something
Right.
like that.
Yeah,
And,
but like
now you have Lady Stoneheart and you just completely threw that out of the show. That's a huge thing.
I mean, they left out. First of all, leaving out Lady Stoneheart is the dumbest thing. It's such an interesting thing, but they didn't want, like you said, the magic side of it.
Yeah.
Leaving out Fagon. dumb thing. Like that could have
Yeah,
been such an interesting thing there,
yeah.
you
Now
know?
uh, you have Rhaegar with two sons named Aegon in the
Right.
show.
How dumb is that? How dumb is that? Like she would really name her son after his dead son. That makes no sense.
Well, I don't even think he was dead at that point, was he?
No, all she knew is he was, but I don't know if she knew. Like cuz
Uh, okay.
yeah, that battle already happened. King's Landing where Ned and him fight or and Robert get into an argument already happened because they killed all the Targaryen kids. So that's when he takes off and goes south. But like, okay, that's dumb. Yeah, there's so many things they left out that were important. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know, like little things that I thought were important. You know, the Witch of Harrenhal, right? Or the wait a minute, which is the one that sits in like the weirwood, cut down weirwood trees? Oh man, I'm blanking on her
Oh
name.
yeah, the one of the children of the forest, and
Well,
they
or
tell.
she was like she was a child between like she's not exactly a child of the forest, but she has their traits. So I think she might be a descendant, you know, but
Okay.
maybe some human was like, I'll try some strange, you know, something weird. But yeah, you know who I'm talking about then. Like you have
Yeah.
to sing her a song, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Um,
I don't know, dude. Okay, so that yeah, those are two big things. The whole idea, I'm sorry, we haven't even gotten there, but the long night being not even like a full night. Like that episode, like what?
yeah. I mean, like the later books, when people are in the north, like I feel cold just reading it, and I'm I'm sitting under like a big lamp,
Right,
and it's like I'm about to start sweating, but I'm also like shivering because I feel so cold from reading the stuff.
right,
And then the show just makes winter like, oh, it was just like a bad week.
right, right. Yeah, dude, it's pretty like the his writing. I'm sorry, his writing is just so. It just it puts you there. It really
Yeah,
does.
like I do not see how people can call George's writing like way too dry. Like he
Mm-hmm.
definitely goes into like the foods and stuff. And he like does like 10 paragraphs in a row about the feast that they're about to eat.
Right,
But like
right,
it really puts you down in the scene.
dude.
It's
It
like
makes me hungry too.
yeah.
But you're so right, man. Like, just the way he describes all the different dishes so well that people have made cookbooks. You know, the Game of Thrones cookbook because he explained what he was making so well. You know, the way he explains people's look and what they're wearing. Like, you could actually like once the show because I read Game of Thrones before Game of Thrones came out, like a little bit before I started reading the books. It might have been when it was announced or right before that, because I know by, I think the second season or third when Dance of the Dragons came out, or wow, am I blanking on the name? Um, Dance of Dragons came out. I bought that book over that Christmas and read that, and that was like the last book that came out. So I was already caught up, but like the way he explained people, I saw them. You know what I mean? And then like when
Yeah.
the show came out, I was like, no, no. First of all, I love what's his name Bean for Ned Stark,
Yeah.
but he looks nothing like what Ned Stark should be. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It's weird, man. And then like I don't know, like Tyrion, he's too pretty. Um, just a lot of things. The only what were the best castings? Do you think?
Um I don't know. They did do a lot of good ones. Uh I like Kit Harington as John. I did think he was way too old when I first watched the or So when I first watched the show,
Mm-hmm.
I did not like John at all. I could
Right.
not stand like I did not understand why anybody thought that he was his favorite character.
Right.
Like as soon as he gets up to the north, he just like completely breaks his vows and is like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
me and Yeager over here are being married
Right.
stuff."
Right.
But in the book, there's so much better context for his character.
Right.
Like he's like what 15 or something.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a little bit older than Rob, right?
I think he's slightly younger than
Is he
Rob.
slightly? Oh, okay. They're whatever. They're about the same
Yeah,
age. So
yeah.
14, 15. Yeah.
So like having a 14-year-old declare that, yeah, I'm gonna go join the Night Watch and swear off land and women and marriage and all of that stuff is one thing compared to like an 18 to 20-year-old that's like, you know
Right.
what? I'm going to sign up for this. Actually, I'm just gonna break it.
Right. Yeah. You're okay. I was kind of going, where is he going with this? You're absolutely right. Like, the mistake he makes at 14, 15, like, that's understandable. You're a child. You think you're a man. You think you're doing
Yeah,
the right thing, getting out of Winterfell, and you realize, holy shit, why did I do this? But he was also given, like, do what you need to do to get in with them. So, did he really break his vow? He was told. He was told to.
I mean, sort of, yeah. Uh, but he wasn't told to like fall in love with a wildling. He wasn't told to like I don't know. It was just hard on my first watch through of it.
Right, right.
And like Theon turning, it didn't make a lot of sense in the show, but in the book, there's so much more evidence of him not fitting in right, like him
Right,
not feeling incredibly welcomed. Uh,
right, right. Yeah, yeah, that's true. But it's so right. But like that 3 or 4 years difference the show decided to do, and understandably why. You don't want to see children go through what he puts them through in the book, but like the
well,
idea,
and
uh,
there's also the like rules for child
well,
actors. They can't
right,
work as much.
and can't be naked. I mean, think about what you see what he explains in the book, and people are like, that's so disgusting, but it's like, it's a medieval book. It's like, yeah, it's weird, it's wrong, but it's like, you don't think of it that way because it's medieval. Like, yes, it's
Yeah,
fantasy, but it's medieval fantasy in a way. People were getting married at 13 back in the day. Sorry.
yeah, like 25 is like middle aged.
Right.
Like you're lucky to get to like 50 or 60.
Right. Right. So yeah, I'm with you on like the age difference. At 18, 19, he should know better. Um, and just letting him do it is like, at 15 in the book, you're like, wow, they're letting him join this. But I guess, it was known. It used to be like where second sons and third sons and bastards would go, but now it's all prisoners and shit, and they know that. But let's send them
Yeah.
anyways. I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah, one of my
Oh,
I really
yeah, you're kind of going in and out.
like to like really like the Stark boys. Oh,
No,
are we
you're
okay
better
now?
now. Yeah, you're better now. It might have been
All
your
right.
internet. Go say that again.
So I really like how in the first book Tyrion gets to like really know and start to like the Stark boys. Like he's the one who tells Jon about like what he's really going to,
Mm-hmm.
and then on his way back down, he does what he can to help Bran, give him a saddle so he can still ride and stuff.
Right. Right. Yeah, Tyrion is he's a complicated character, which I love about
Hmm.
him. And they really lost that in the later seasons of Game of Thrones because they didn't understand how to write him. He was abused. He was mentally just destroyed by his family, and like he wanted to be good, but there was an evil to him too. Like he was very vicious when he decided to be. But like,
Yeah,
wouldn't you, after your wife, your father has all the men in his army that there go through her, and then has you do it last? Like,
Yeah.
what? And then you find out that it was all like she wasn't a setup. She actually loved him. Like, yeah, that's a twisted moment, like the book just you felt like you were there. Like, and I guess I have to say for the actor, what's his name? Peter Dinklage, he did an excellent job bringing out what he could in the writing they gave him in the later seasons, but the early seasons he was brilliant.
Yeah. Uh, they didn't want to, like in the later seasons, they didn't want to make him
Mm,
as do as much bad stuff as he does.
right.
Uh, but do you think Tyrion is like evil? Because when I read it, I kind of saw it more as he's so like stricken with grief that he multiple times he just talks about how he wants to die.
Yep. Oh yeah, I don't think he's evil. I think he's acting out because he's so depressed.
Yeah.
He's been mentally and physically abused by his family, and I think it's just he's broke. He broke, but I don't think he's evil. I think he's far from evil. Actually, I think he could be the hero. Like, he wants to be the hero in the story, but no one sees. All they see is a crippled, noseless. I mean, look what's her name did to him. He paid her. He knew that she was a prostitute, but he still fell in love with her, and she freaking,
Yeah.
goes against him in court and then bangs his dad. Like, what?
Hmm.
No wonder the dude snapped. Yeah. Who else? I don't know.
Uh, do you like the changes that the show made to Cersei?
Mm, I think she's a brilliant actress, but Cersei's evil. She's a selfish, not evil in the sense of evil like good and bad, but like she is selfish. She is delusional, like, and
Hmm.
she's probably a sociopath. Like, there's no love for anybody but Cersei. She believes she
Yeah.
should have been born a man because she is her father's, daughter. But if she was a man, she could have taken over everything. And the truth is, she's a moron. So
Yeah, I don't think she's capable of any emotion
no,
after reading the books.
yeah,
Like like even to like Jamie, she only tells him she loves him when she needs something from
yeah.
him.
Oh,
And
dude, she's a sociopath. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, like right before he leaves, she's like, "I hate you. Go away. Like you're no use to me without your sword hand." And
Right.
then as soon as she needs him, she's like, "I love you so much. Please come back."
Jamie in the book. Also, I mean, the actor did a great job, but Jamie in the book is such a cool. I really hope it doesn't turn out that he goes through all this redemption just to go back to Cersei. Like, I would understand it if George wrote it that way, but like the way the show did it, he was just like, okay, well, I banged you. Now I'm going back to Cersei. First other woman I've ever had. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I
Yeah.
think the redemption he's on is pretty interesting to watch.
Yeah. Um, um, so who do you think is Azor Ahai?
Ooh.
Because there's like John, there's Jamie,
Mm-hmm.
uh, there's a couple other people.
Danny.
Yeah, Daenerys.
Yep. There's quite a few, man. And is it only one person? Like, will only one person be the Azor Ahai of this show or book series? Like, technically, in my mind, if John is reborn or brought back to life, I think he would be the Azor Ahai. But if you remember Stig used to bring up some great theories that John will come back as a fire white. So, like,
Mm.
instead of just a white, but like the Lord of Fire's white version. which is kind of interesting. I think he's going to come back more animalistic because he'll probably be in Ghost for too long. But he qualifies. Danny qualifies. There's so many people who can qualify for it. It's, like, yeah, I don't know who will be the savior of the show. Will there be anybody? Or the book. Will there be anybody? I don't know.
So I think it would work out a lot more thematically if he turns out to be an ice white.
Mm-hmm.
So that then you have Danny as a fire white and him as an ice white, and they have to work together to stop the others from the long night.
I mean, definitely, you could see more than, you have Azor Ahai, the prince that was promised, and the last hero.
Yeah.
They could literally be three different people. You know what I mean?
The three heads of the dragon.
Right, exactly. So will it be, will Danny be Azor Ahai, John be the prince that was promised, or will reverse that, and maybe, I don't know. A lot of people wanted to be like Tyrion. That's what I was going to say. A lot of people wanted Tyrion to be a secret Targaryen. I don't. I think it's better that he's actually the son of Tywin.
And
yeah.
So there's the theory that that Tyrion is Tywin's only real son, and that that Jaime and Cersei are actually the Targaryens, because the Mad King had it's really liking his wife.
Yeah, he was obsessed with her and he did spend some time around her before the birth of them, and may have taken advantage of them, or taken advantage of her. So
yeah, and then you have Jaime's dream where he dreams of his mother, and she's like, Tywin always wanted to have a knight as a son. He's like, but I am a knight. And she starts crying and walking away.
Yeah.
It's like,
wow, man, that is true. I can see that, and they're into the sibling thing,
Yeah.
So that's a good one. That makes a lot of sense. That does make a lot of sense. I like that. Good shit, man. You're doing good. See you? Look at you. You can do this more often. More often.
So, in what order would you rank the main books?
Ooh. It's been so long since I read them through. I should probably read them through again.
All right. Well, which one is your favorite?
That's a tough one, dude, because Game of Thrones, the first book got me into the series, but Clash of Kings really good. All right, let me think. I'm trying to think what happens in each book right now. All right, so you got a Game of Thrones, right? Let's listen.
Yeah.
Song of Ice and Fire books. This is when people go, he's not a real fan. Go screw. So you got, Game of Thrones, Clash of Kings, Storm of Swords, A Feast for Crows, A Dance with Dragons. Okay. Now, A Storm of Swords and A Feast of Crows were split. They were one book he split into two. That's a good one. A Feast for Crows. Man. What do you think? You give me yours because you had the question ready. What do you think?
So I think A Storm of Swords is his best work because it has the most action and the most it has the most George-isms, I guess, would be the best way to describe it.
Also the oh shit moments too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then probably A Game of Thrones.
Yep.
You can almost just read A Game of Thrones by itself and be like, wow, that was a really good book.
Right.
Now you can just let your imagination carry the rest of the story. Like, okay, Rob's gonna go avenge him, whatever.
That's a good way of putting it. I like that. That's a good idea. Now, that book is the one where the Red Wedding happens, right? The
A Storm of Swords, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I would say that too. Storm of Swords, Game of Thrones. After that, I liked Dancing with Dragons. Um, I think then I would go a Clash of Kings and a Feast of Crows.
Yeah, I think that's how I'd go too.
Yeah. Though, I mean, Feast of Crows gets a bad rap, but there is a lot of stuff that happens in that one. It's just not the
Yeah.
characters you really want. So it might even be higher on my list. But
I did like Victorian's chapters in Feast for Crows.
yeah, dude,
I,
you're
I
right.
think he's
Yeah.
probably the best part in that book.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That is true. You got him. Um, yeah, you know what? That is a really good one. You know, another one, the person they left out in the series is Quentin.
Yeah,
Quentin Martell, you know?
yeah,
I also like the Dampier Greyjoy in that book. So yeah, I think
yeah,
I'm about to add that a little higher. I think I put that. So I would go Storm of Swords, Game of Thrones. Feast for Crow might be next on mine. I'm trying to remember what happens in Clash of Kings. I got to start rereading these.
Clash of Kings is Rob going to war.
That's good part.
Yeah, he gets to River Run and starts attacking around there, trying to draw out.
Yeah.
Uh,
Tyrion be brought to the Eyrie, right?
yeah.
Is that part? Yeah.
Wait, maybe not. I think that might be at the end of Game of Thrones.
He gets caught, but he's this in a Clash of Kings. He's being dragged to the Eyrie, I believe. Right?
No, because he's free when they're trying to trade Ned Stark for Tyrion,
Okay.
but Tyrion's already out.
Oh, is this the one where she's? Oh, you know what? That's when you meet Stannis and
Melisandre.
Melisandre and his brother Renly.
Oh
So
yeah,
that's a good one too. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
I can't really put which one's my favorite. It depends on who I like at the moment. That's a tough one, man. Good question though. Good question. I don't know. I'll have to think about that one and get back to you.
All
I
right.
really do. I have to think about that one and get back to you because there's a lot of stuff I liked in certain books. I just like was portions of it were like mesmerizing, you know, and other ones you're like, what's going on? Yeah, good stuff.
So who do you think will sit the Iron Throne at the end?
Yeah, will there be an Iron Throne? I don't know. Like, will there be a king or a queen? I don't know. I it's hard to say. The books also messed it all up to, or the show, so I don't know. I could see everybody that wanted the throne being dead. You know? So I don't know.
So are you thinking that it's going to go back to being 7 individual kingdoms?
Close to it. I think it might be like Dorne, the North, the Iron Islands, and then the rest of that group being together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the North, that's such a big piece of land. Like it's the North is almost the same. I think the rest of the 7 kings can fit into the North.
Yeah.
Dorne never wants to be a part of anything. And then the rest will probably loosely follow whoever's the strongest. But if it does turn out to be Bran, it's going to be like he's being used by Bloodraven and the Children of the Forest.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, why do you have somebody?
No, I was just curious because,
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like Stannis as a king. I think he's probably doing the best out of anybody else.
He's the most kingly.
Yeah.
Yep, he's most kingly. Um, he's smart, tactical guy. Like the idea he would do anything to his child to get snow to melt, it would have to be horrific amount of snow. So like, I don't know. I'd like to see what happens. Right now he's waiting for an attack. He's on the lake. Like there's some interesting stuff going on with Stannis. I'd like to see him make it farther than a lot of people think he's going to make it.
Yeah. So do you think him or Aegon will make it to sit the Iron Throne for a little bit?
I think Aegon definitely. Stannis is hard because he's up north. So like it would take a lot to get him all the way back down. And it's like
Yeah.
winter's kicking in. I don't think he'd like if he could physically make it there, but like I could see Aegon, going from Storm's End to King's Landing pretty easily. And like
Hmm.
holding it for a short period, thinking he's doing something good for Dany and really causing her to kill him.
Yeah.
All because of Tyrion.
And like that's another thing. Like him being the rightful heir to the Iron Throne, and then Dany deciding that I don't care who you are. This is mine. That would
Yeah.
be like a big thing for her character development.
Right. Right. Yeah, no, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm with you on that. That's
Uh,
interesting.
so who do you think's gonna take one of her dragons?
Ooh. A lot of people want him.
Yeah.
You got the horn. Will it
Mhm.
work? Will the horn really be something that works?
And if it
Um,
does work, who does it go to?
right, right. Like Victorian thinks it's going to be him, but it's not going to be him. But
Yeah.
um, I can't wait to see how messed up Euron's going to be
Yeah.
because he just seems like the biggest villain. You know what I mean?
Mhm. He's parked outside of uh like the high towers.
Right. Doing some type of weird ritual,
Uh-huh.
with all these, I don't know, like with all these like religious
Yeah.
followers,
Yeah, he
including
has a
his own
bunch of
brother
like priests from a bunch of different religions. It's gonna
and
do some
like
sort of like blood sacrifice or
right and a
something.
baby mama, like his own child. He's gonna blood sacrifice. Like he's gonna either draw a kraken up or something crazy.
Okay, so how does King's blood work?
It's
Because
really hard to understand, isn't it?
yeah, it kind of just seems made up. Like anybody who says they're a king
I think
gets
it's
to do it.
I think it's first man's blood. I think it's first man's blood because the Baratheons have first men blood in them. The Starks definitely, like I think that's what it is because you're right. Like if you just call yourself a king and people say okay, like five people are like okay, we'll follow you. Is that king's blood now?
Yeah, because like when Melisandre's trying to do a bunch of sacrifices and they need a bunch of King's blood,
Mm-hmm.
uh, so they spare what's his name, Mance Raider,
Right.
right?
Right.
And he just has King's blood because he said he was a king or something.
Right. And like his child now will like and like people consider the woman he had a child with being like a princess of
Yeah,
like but like how does that even work? I think it's first man's blood. It has to be something like that. They use Gendry, whatever his name is,
yeah,
his blood for a couple leeches that caused, did they really cause those guys death or was it just coincidence? I don't know.
yeah. I mean, First Man's Blood sounds a lot better. I couldn't think of anything. I didn't realize that the Baratheons had any First Men blood. I thought they were Andals.
Um, no, I know, that's a good question.
I know they have Targaryen blood.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely have Targaryen blood.
Yeah, that's what I thought was making like the leeches from Gendry work was the drops of Targaryen
Oh,
blood.
true. That could be definitely okay. Maybe it is Targaryen blood. Shit. That changes everything then. But how then Mance Raider's blood?
Sure, that doesn't work. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's like a recipe, and if you have one type of blood, it works one way. If you have something else, you have to do a different ritual.
Yeah, right. Like, but see, like, okay, so Targaryen and First Men blood both have the ability to use magic. You have
Yeah,
skinwalkers, you have wargs, and you have dragon riders. Maybe that's what it is. It's like a blood type that has the capability of like it actually magically doing things. I don't know. Because
yeah.
you never hear of
So,
like Andals that are magical.
so, uh, does any Valerian blood work, or does it have to be Targaryen? Because it could be that you have the
Right?
Targaryens bonded with the dragons, and then the first men intermixed with some of the children of the
Andals? Oh,
forest.
Children of the Forest, right? Well, right.
And,
Well,
and
somebody did, right? In the First Men, because you got the Warg King.
yeah, and so then they intermixed with the free folk and got
Yep.
the like warging and green sight
Yep.
down below the wall.
Yeah, well, because like you had the Warg King, which the Starks defeated, and they put their sons to the sword and they took their wives or their daughters to bed. So like,
Yeah,
yes, that's how the Starks got that warging ability in them, because not everybody in the North could do it, because that's why the oh god, the flayed men,
the Boltons.
yeah, the Boltons, thank you. They used to, like, if they killed a Stark, they would skin them and wear them, thinking it would give them their power. So like,
Yeah,
you definitely had to have a certain bloodline of that First Men group to be able to do that. So you're right. I don't know what it is. It has to be something like that goes with that, though.
well, now I'm kind of talking myself into into this theory.
Yeah,
It
right.
has to be the either like the quote unquote ice bloodline or the fire bloodline.
Right. And that, I mean, if you think about it, that definitely is a large group of people. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people that
Well, it would have
married.
to be somebody from Targaryen
Yep.
descentage. Is that right?
Yeah,
Or
descendant.
yeah, or somebody with blood from like Children of the Forest or something
Right.
like
Like a
that.
Stark descendant, but it could also
Yeah,
be like, man, Mance might have, because I know we don't know much about his history. So
yeah.
it's interesting. That's interesting, man. I like it. I don't mean to. I'm gonna have to wrap it up because I gotta get up super early for work tomorrow. I had a lot of fun though, dude.
Yeah, I did too.
That was good.
Uh, yeah, thanks for coming on, by the way.
Thank you for having me, and we'll hang out next week too.
All right.
All right. Do
So
you have like an outro or something?
not at the moment.
All right. Do
uh,
do 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 do. Mason loves a song of ice and fire. Do you like to follow him? Mason is a good guy. He likes the free folks so much, so make sure to get him to 100 subs. Cause if not, y'all suck.
all right, that's getting clipped and played.
Thank you, man. Have a good night.
Why
Good night,
don't you
Tina. Thank you for being there.
like, plug your
Oh
channel?
yeah. Sporky News Podcast, YouTube, Rumble, all those good things on the Twitters and the Instagrams. Check it out.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for anybody that tuned in,
Yeah,
especially you,
man.
Tina Bojan. Anybody
Tina's
that
rocked.
catches it on a replay. Thank you for watching.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Uh, Working on a few videos. Hopefully, I can finish some of them soon. uh,
It's like
um,
me.
and we'll catch you guys later. Peace.
I'm frozen.